What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome back to more Let's Play Pokemon White. In the last episode, we managed to make our way through the majority of the Moor of Iciris, battling every trainer and grabbing all the items within. We are back out here on Route 8, and we're going to be proceeding along towards Opelousas City. But we got more trainers to take down as we go. Now, this lady I don't think is a trainer. Parasol is full of TMs. Would you like one? She's going to give us TM42 Facade, which is an incredibly good move. Facade, when the user is poisoned, paralyzed, or burned, its attack power doubles. So I originally used to think that the burn kind of offset the benefits of Facade, but this has actually never been the case. I was wrong about this back in my Pokemon Emerald Let's Play, where I was like, I don't know if Facade actually works with burn. No, it does. So it has a base power of 70 and does a 140 damage when poisoned, paralyzed, or burned. There are plenty of things that allow you to work around this. Certain moves like the Flame Orb or the Toxic Orb can actually make this move a lot stronger. It immediately burns and or poisons your Pokemon, and then you can just kind of work with that to do additional damage. This can be benefited even more by certain Pokemon that actually have abilities that take advantage of this effect. A good example of this is a Pokemon known as Zangoose, which can get a hidden ability known as Toxic Heal. So if you give it a Poison Orb or a Toxic Orb, it will poison itself, but instead of losing health every turn, it will heal itself every turn on top of having the Facade in play, which is kind of insane. So almost all of our Pokemon can learn this. In fact, yep, all of them can. The only ones that would obviously be benefiting from it are Arthur, Crush, and Bathory, who is obviously not in with the team right now. Now, I'm going to look at Arthur's moveset really quickly. I think I'm going to get rid of Return for it, just for the time being. It's not going to be, like, I keep switching out these normal type moves on Arthur, but eventually it's going to get replaced not too long from now. But I figured, you know, hey, while we have it, might as well just teach it to him. And let me pop another Max Repel, and then we may continue through the remainder of this route. So, real fishermen are patient, so we must battle immediately. Are they? Are you sure about that? I would say fly fishermen have more of a reputation for being impatient, but regular fishermen, you have to be patient or you will actually drive yourself insane. Just saying. And even fly fishermen, it's like, you still kind of have to, given the nature of what you're doing. Like, yeah, you do need to be active, but you don't need to be like, you can't be impatient and jittery either. So, I don't know. I think this guy is just full of crap, and he's not a very good fisherman. But regardless, we are about to learn one of the best moves in the game, Psychic. Target hit by a strong telekinetic force. It may also reduce the target's special defense stat. Power of 90. We're going to be getting rid of Psybeam for this one. I know. Insanely powerful move, though. It sucks to be getting rid of Psybeam at this point, but now this is Naz's, pretty much Naz's last move for the remainder of the game, and I'm definitely going to want to have that on him. I'm also going to be using a PP up on that move to up its uses from 10 to 12, because that just makes all of the sense in the world when you have a move that's so limited in its use. And speaking of which, I probably should get to using those. I'm still waiting on one move for Lumiette, but we're probably not going to be getting that for some time. I don't think until we get past the last gym. So why don't we just start using a few of those? I'll use like 3. Let's use one on Arthur's Leaf Blade. We'll use another one on Naz's Psychic, like I said. And then I think I'll use the last one on Shelob's Thunderbolt. Perfect. Okay, I think that is pretty much... yeah, I'll just save the last 2 for the time being. And let's proceed. All right, another lady. Are you going to also battle me? If you turn a parasol around, it's like a flower blossoming in the rain. Oh, okay, she does battle me. That's right. I forgot you always have to go and directly talk to the parasol ladies, because otherwise they won't really bother you too much. All right, an Alomomola. Well, that is fine by me. I'm actually going to probably start off with air slashes here. See if I can't get the flinch to go. Or you could just use Protect, because you're wasting my time. I don't like that you're wasting my time, but you are wasting my time. All right, come on. Let's try to land a flinch here. Yes, that's what I wanted. Is it going to use another Protect? It didn't. Perfect. And down it goes. Not bad. So this should put Naz pretty close to level 45, but not all the way there. And now we head on over this way. It looks like we also got this lady here. That's right. I find rocks and then I give them to people. That's my simple life. You rock. Here, I'll give you the smooth rock I found this evening. So this lady right here gives you different weather rocks each and every single day, I believe. So she can give you, and each of these rocks, the effect that they have is that when a Pokemon uses a weather move, the rocks will extend the duration of that effect. So a smooth rock works with, is that Sandstorm? Hold on. I'm actually gonna check, and I did not mean to go into the save menu. I'm actually gonna verify before I make any crazy claims here. So Smooth Rock is for Sandstorm, yes, because you got one for Sandstorm, you've got one for Hail, you've got one for Rain Dance, and you got one for Sunny Day. Like I said, you can get all these. These will up the duration of the weather effect from 5 turns to 8 turns, which is incredibly crucial if you have a weather team that doesn't already pack something like Drizzle, for instance, or Drought, which makes the weather moves permanent until they are affected by an ability or a different weather move or something along those lines. So really nice to have these in that exact specific instance, but otherwise they don't really have another purpose. Now, I suppose we are done here, so it looks like all that's left to do is head on into the bridge. But hold on! Levi! Is that Bianca? As I've been traveling lately, I've been thinking about things. Things like what I can do with my life and what I want to do. But I'm thinking about how cool it would be to be a model like Melissa. And then how cool it would be to do research on Pokemon like Professor Juniper. If that's what I want to do, I'm going to have to know a lot about Pokemon. So, would you please battle me? Wow, okay, we haven't done this in some time. Battle against Bianca. I mean, when was the last time we did this? Was it Nimbasa City, I think? Or was it even before that? I don't know. It's been a while since we've done one of the, it might have been even like Castelia or something along those lines, but whatever. No, I think there was one time in between that I can't fully remember because I know we've battled the Stoutland before, but let's begin. This Stoutland is going to net a lot of experience if we can take this thing out, so let's try to do that as quickly as possible. One shot with the critical hit. Thank you very much, Naz. That is some beautiful, well-earned experience for you. And next up is Simisear. All right, for Simisear, I am going to throw out Crush because it just makes all of the sense in the world. I'm going to try to land a Rock Slide here before I try anything like Surf. I think Rock Slide should be a pretty guaranteed one-shot. Of course, there's the Flame Burst. Isn't going to do all that much damage, so we're okay. And down you go. Very, very simple. All right, next Pokemon. Let's see what you got. What do you got? Samurott. Okay, for you, I'm going to be switching on over to Arthur. Again, makes all the sense. And I think this is the first time we've ever fought her Samurott. Before it was a Duat, so this is definitely new. Ooh, and look at that level 2, level 40 on this thing. Not bad, Bianca. Honestly, Bianca, you really could hold your own against these Team Plasma Grunts. I promise you could. I know you say you're not very good at battling, but you've more than got the team for it at this point. Last Pokemon is Masharna. So for you, I'm going to send out Shelob. It's either going to be Shelob or Lumiette, but I'll go with Shelob for the time being. And we'll just use Signal Beam here. Allergic to Thunderbolt, which is probably not the move it should be more worried about, but whatever. Thunderbolt is the more powerful base power, but Signal Beam is the one that's going to really mess it up, especially when you waste a turn using Defense Curl. Oh, Bianca. Every time I watch my Pokemon battle, it ends like this. Oh, I hate how bummed she is about it. Gosh dang it. But we do need the experience. We do need to win this fight, and I don't want to drag it on any longer than it needs to be. So, here we go. Pokemon on both sides tried so hard, didn't they? Yep, Levi, you're amazing. I'm really, really, really impressed, and that makes me want to give this to you. And she gives us a full restore. Thanks, Bianca. I'll take one of those. Oh. Castelia City, my precious Pokemon, was stolen by Team Plasma, so I really, really understand. If Team Plasma forces everyone to liberate their Pokemon, there will be nothing but sad people. Levi, stop Team Plasma. Don't allow Pokemon to be stolen from trainers who love them. I think that's the truth or ideal that you've been pursuing, Levi. Oh dear, here I've come all this way, and I'm afraid I'm bothering you when you're going through so much. All I wanted was to help you relax, Levi. Knowing you, you'll be fine. Definitely. You'll be totally fine. I guarantee it. Anyway, you know what I mean. Yeah, so bye-bye. I really love Bianca's growth as a character. She is... and I know a lot of people will be like, oh, but Charon, too. But Bianca's my favorite of the two. I don't know if I could make that any more clear, but she's just the most interesting to me. by far. But yeah, welcome to Two Blind Bridge, everybody. There's actually an NPC that's worth talking to, which is this girl running around. And we're going to do that really quickly as soon as I can. She's going to turn any second now. There she is. Oh, I was meant to block you. No, stay. When I was running around trying to outrun the trains, I got overheated. Phew. Anyway, please take this. And she gives us TM43 Flame Charge. You remember this move? The move that Marty was using so frequently? Now, I believe the only Pokemon on my team that I can teach this to is Lumiette, but I also would never want to do that. I can be absolutely sure by just testing it really quickly. But yeah, Lumiette would be a waste. I actually think Bathory might be able to, but I'll check that a little bit later. For now, we do have a figure waiting for us on the end of the bridge, though, so let's talk to him first. Come. I mean, we already see Getsus is here. Yeah, take credit for that one, guys. We brought you the one you wanted. Excellent. It seems that you have obtained the Darkstone. I congratulate you on a job well done. It is my Lord N's thought that the two holders of the legendary Pokemon should put their beliefs on the line and strive to find which is the true hero. This is not necessary, however. From his infancy, I provided him with the education required to become the hero of legend. Indeed, he has been so acknowledged by the legendary Pokemon. Such purity of purpose is his. The liberation of Pokemon, of which Team Plasma speaks, is the separation of Pokemon from foolish people. That's the truth. All trainers will become helpless to resist us. We alone will be able to use Pokemon. The preparations are complete. When my perfect plan is set in motion, first a few gullible Pokemon trainers who are unable to resist Team Plasma will release their Pokemon. Then that number will become 100, then 1,000 in no time. Even the gym leaders and the champion will become unable to fight us. I think a Pokemon will be considered a bad thing. Even people like the sad little Bianca, whose Pokemon was stolen in Castelia, will be unable to face public opinion and will release their Pokemon. That's the kind of world we'll make. Peer pressure! You may have the stone, but there's no chance whatsoever that the legendary Pokemon will accept you as the hero. So if you're not willing to hand over your precious Pokemon, I suggest you search for some courage, because you're going to need it. So confident are you, Getsus, that the fact that your entire plan hinges on the fact that it's not going to work seems a bit silly. Also, gotta say, way to just lay your cards on the table there, buddy, and just tell us your entire plan and really how evil you are from the get-go. Yeah, there's nothing subtle about this guy. Pitches those his first pitch. What? Whoa, what is this? Hey, speaking of Fling, which I actually talked about in the last episode, TM56 Fling. What I just threw was TM56 Fling. You throw an item to do damage at the target, and the damage changes depending on what you throw. So, I am not going to give you a breakdown of what every single different item's effect is on the TM56. But what you need to know is that there is an entire list out there that tells you how much damage each item does. A good rule of thumb is that if an item is pointy, or if it is heavy or hard, something like a hard stone or an iron ball or a poison barb or things that are going to be sharp and whatnot, sharp beaks, these do the most damage. Standard items tend to do not a lot, but sometimes they can have additional effects. I said before that like a poison barb can cause poison damage, but then something like a flame orb can cause a burn, and this can be applied to a myriad of different things. Just go and look up a list of the entire thing, because me going over every single item this applies to is not worth the time, because that list is literally like dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of items. I mean, technically it's hundreds of items long. So just go look up a full list. You can get the gist of it based on like looking at the makeup of an item, because they're pretty consistent about that, about whether an item looks like it would actually hurt if it was thrown at you. And that way you know it actually does a fair bit of damage. So that's pretty much all there is to that. I'm not going to be teaching it to any of my Pokemon, so it doesn't really matter all that much anyway. Let's get Naz out of the front slot, and we're going to start putting more emphasis on Crush, Shelob, Lumia, and Arthur for a little while, since Naz is at the exact same level that we left Bathory at, so we should be good for a little while. Let's continue, and now that we head into this route, there are some items we can grab around here. Lots of trainers in this area, actually. Tons and tons of bikers, but there is also an incredibly important building that we're going to be stopping off at here in this route as well. I also, as I battle this guy, want to talk about the one new Pokemon that can be gotten in this area, and that is Pawniard. Pawniard is a Dark and Steel-type Pokemon that evolves into Bisharp at level 52. It has great attack, good defenses, and a pretty much okay everything else. And for a Pokemon that evolves so late, it's a little hard to recommend beyond its interesting typing. That quad weakness to fighting will also come up a lot more than one would like later on in the game. If you have Pokemon that hit as hard as this thing does, you either want insanely good speed or insanely good tanking ability, and it just kind of doesn't do either super well. Its special defense stat is the glaring problem here. That's not to say this Pokemon is bad per se, it's just not super exceptional either, which at this point in the game, we're really only looking for super exceptional. And there we are. It wasn't really worth showing that entire fight as I discussed all that, so let's just continue and take on these trainers. I said there's a lot, but I'm only saying that based on how tiny this route is, because it's actually extremely small. The number of trainers is just highly concentrated. We're going to battle these two last, but certainly not least, for this episode, and then we will be moving on in the next episode. So once we just get through this one, we should be good. I'm just going to use Rock Slide because I don't want to surf and hurt Shelob here. I'm going to use a Thunderbolt to take out one of these in particular. Should be more than enough. I know Rock Slide is not very effective on these two little guys, but whatever. It should be enough, although, ooh, those high jump kicks are going to hurt. Are you going to also use it? Yeah. Double teamed on Crush. That is rough. Okay, well, that's fine. We can revive him. Also, Moxie. Ooh, that's a little bit, that could actually be a little bit of a problem. Why am I switching to Shelob? No, I want Arthur out. Thanks. Shelob is already in the battle. Gosh dang it. All right, now that we have two fast Pokemon, we should be in relatively good shape here. I'm going to use an Aerial Ace on that one. Hopefully that's enough to take it out, and then I'll just use, I guess, like Charge Beam or something random on the other one just to get rid of it. And if not, we at least get these raised special attack, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, unfortunately, I ran into 3 Scraggies in a row who were all faster than Crush, and 3 high jump kicks was not something he was going to survive all that easily. I was really hoping that was going to be a one-shot, but it was not. Oh, well. Oh, my goodness. I cannot believe the amount of damage that does. I mean, I know that was with the Moxie, but still. Chill out, little guy. You are way too powerful for your own good. Yeah, Scraggy's no joke, and shouldn't you also be a Scrafty by now? I would expect that at that level. Regardless, that is going to be it for this episode, guys. Thank you all so much for watching this episode of Let's Play Pokemon White. I hope you enjoyed it very much. In the next episode, we're going to continue to explore the remainder of Route 9. We're going to explore the building up ahead, and there's a possibility that we will be making it into the next area, Opelucid City. So with all that said, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.